Well, that'll serve as a temporary loading screen as well as any other. That will serve as a temporary loading screen as well as any other. I mean, it's not exactly wrong. I mean, yes, I built it for the last fashion stream that I did, but the last, like, 2 minutes of me scrambling to get everything ready is usually me futzing it out with an outfit, so as a loading screen, it does its job. And of course, the second I click that button, I'm missing something. Hold up. Hold up. I'm missing the last key accessory that I need. Hi, happy stream. Hello, C. Happy stream indeed. Hello, Ethan. What's up? Not much. Plush Blue EP. I'm just getting everything ready in the background because you'd think that I would get everything ready beforehand, but no. That's not my style. My style is absolutely flummoxing to get everything ready at the last minute. But it's close enough. Hello. Hi. It's me, Ethan. What's poppin'? This new camera angle is something that I'm trying. Let's see how it works. Hello, hello, hello! Alright, that's working, that's working. Sound is working. Up and down. And yeah. Oh god, my hair's a mess today. But it's raining, so that's my excuse for that. I don't often have excuses, but when it's raining, my hair goes absolutely haywire, so that's just what I have to deal with. I'm literally just sitting in my room doing the things I enjoy and genuinely have no idea why I feel this way. You know what? That ain't bad. Wait, no, I missed the first message. Oh no. Listen, you are more than welcome to blame all of your worldly problems on me, because I am a faceless internet stranger who lives on the other side of the planet, probably, so I'm as good a scapegoat as any. Let this be a lesson to you, right? Like, if you're ever having a bad day, if you ever need someone to blame, just blame me. I'm never gonna know. Had a shit day at work, just feel the worst, anxiety burning in your chest, hatred running through your veins, it's my fault, and my fault alone. And I'm happy for it to be that way, because I will never know the consequences of that. Audio's a little quiet. My audio is not a little quiet, my music is a little loud. There's a difference. Maybe I'll just have to yell louder. This is what happens when I judge the audio levels by eye before actually testing anything. How could you do this to me? I did it because I can. Which is the same reason why I do pretty much anything in this life. Hey yo, hello Mo! What's poppin'? Okay, my water cup for my miniature painting, which is what I'm here to do. My water cup for my miniature painting is dangerously low, and I don't remember it being this low. So I think I might have drunk from it at some point during the day, which is a concern to me, because I don't know when the last time I changed it out was. Probably should have thought about that beforehand. It's me, a Chuckle Man. Loving the chain, super cool. Thank you! I had to scramble last minute because I realized I didn't have it on, and also I didn't know where it was. I thought I'd go for a red look today. I have 2 color profiles. Purple, red, and black. So technically that's 3. Stolen from Aunt Betty once again. Shh! Don't call me out like this. Don't call me out like this. I need people to think that I am cool, trendy, and I get everything from cool places that I just never share with anyone. People can't know that I never respond to questions about where I got my outfits from because I fully do not know. Either they have been fully stolen or I have completely forgotten. And it's always one of the two. That's not what I wanted. I guess it's more of a communal closet situation. Listen, we have a dynamic and it works. It's a dynamic that many people are jealous of. I can tell you that right now. Right. You'll always be cool in my eyes, Balloons boy. Shut up. That can't be my thing. I think I'm almost back to the progress that I lost in Bloons Tower Defense 6. And I did it in a quarter of the time. Because I learned. I learned how to play the game, and now I'm a god at it. That's absolutely not true. I can't be the Bloons guy. I simply can't. I've spent too much time in my life doing other things. I simply cannot be remembered as the man who got upset about a children's video game made for babies. Bloons Tower Defense 6 is literally a port of a free iOS game, which I have sunk 20 hours into. I'm behind. Why does he even get mad when we call him Bloons boy? Don't worry about it. Hey, don't worry about it. Someone make an edit of Ethan on the balloon. God, I hate Balloon Boy. I hate that balloony little man. He creeps me out. Five Nights at Freddy's is not scary, but that balloon thing fucking is. I want your Wikipedia to start with Ethan Cat is most known for Bloons content. Listen, if I had a Wikipedia page that started with anything, I would be happy. Because right now, I'm probably just a footnote in somebody else's, like, you know, list of eventual murders. Opinions on the new Blood Angel release. Well, Teb, that's why I'm wearing red. Honestly, I'm not too... I don't have too many opinions on the Blood Angels, because, like, I think they're cool. I know they're all, like, vampire space marines. When I saw the new box sets, the first thing that came to mind was, why aren't they red? Like, I thought their whole thing was that they were red, but now they're, like, black and red? I thought that was the color scheme of the Black Templars, and the Death Watch, and the Chaos Space Marines. There's a lot of Space Marines who are just black, white, and red now that I think about it. Blood Angels always hold a special place in my heart. I have no... I'm not too deep into the Dark Angel... The Blood Angels mythology. I guess I'm not too into the Dark Angels mythology either. Although I will say, when I saw the new box sets that they announced, I took a look at them and I was like, oh, cool. This looks like a combat patrol's worth of models that's going to be sold at a Battle Force price. Like, that was my inclination. Like, looking at that and seeing that there was, like, you know, a couple dozen models in there, I was like, oh, this is straight up gonna be, like, $200-something. Or, like, whatever the really expensive box price is. Which, I don't know, like, I feel like in a lot of the box sets that, Games Workshop's been coming out with recently, like, I know everyone says that, James Workshop is always, like, you know, overcharging and under-delivering and all that sort of stuff, but I think now I'm starting to see it. Like, I'm a new fan. I don't have a lot of the prior context or anything like that. When I look at this box set for the Blood Angels that they just announced, I was like, this is gonna cost, like, $200-and-something. Which, I don't know, I've been getting into Warhammer content for like a year or so. I don't think I've earned the tenure to be a jaded cynic. So I'm just gonna keep painting my little commandos until that day happens. If my custom chapter wasn't so cool and awesome and sick and epic and amazing, I would be doing Blood Angels. You know what? You gotta go with the custom chapters anytime you can. Like, this is just a creative venture. Like, this is just a collection of art pieces that you made, right? It's all for the art. It's why we do it. Who gives a shit about the lore? Horus who? Get out of here. The black one's a death company. Okay. They're special blood angels. Ooh. Special boys. Special big death murder boys, I should say. Well, maybe that just shows my ignorance. I don't know what the fuck is going on in Warhammer 40,000. I thought the Blood Angels were red. You're telling me some of them are, like, jet black now? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. You could be lying to me, also, which is a very real thing that I would believe. Oh my god, speaking of murder, I watched Spree today and it was quite lovely. That's not a sentence that makes sense. Speaking of murder, first of all, I watched a film, I imagine, and not just the vague concept of a spree in general, which, given the previous context of the message, I find to be quite disturbing, and describing it as pleasant doesn't sound quite right. But, as we've discussed, I don't know anything about anything, so I have no idea what you're talking about. It could be a lovely movie about murder. It could be one of those, like, new age romances where two serial killers fall in love. Watch now on webtoon.org. Horse heresy. Is that Warhammers? That is Warhammers! Specifically, the Orcish Kommandos. I guess I can just say the Orc Commandos. They're not Orcish. They are just Orc. My camera's got really shit quality all of a sudden for some reason, and I don't know why, and I don't like it. I don't like it. How are you not on a late-night chat show? I don't know. It's because I don't know anybody in Hollywood who can give me a job. See, this is why I do YouTube. This is why I do these fun little live streams. This is why I talk on a camera for hours on end. I'm just waiting for Jimothy Fallon to show up in chat one day and go like, "This kid's got it!" And then I'll be that weird, like, off-sider that they always cut to in, like, late-night talk shows who just offers their commentary on, like, just anything that's going on. That's my dream job. You know, I want to be one of those guys in a late-night talk show that just, you know, interjects every now and again with a quip. Doesn't have to do any of the setup, doesn't have to do any of the heavy lifting. He's just, haha! Hugh Jackman was in Les Miserables. And then everyone claps, because they always do on late-night television. Thoughts on the Agents of the Imperium boxes announced? I've seen a little bit of chatter about the Agents boxes. Ignis Rex. I guess I don't have too... This is one of those things where I'm still, like, too new to the franchise that I don't have much of an opinion on them. Like, my understanding was that the Agents of the Imperium were a bunch of, like, minor models or, like, minor characters that, like, you could put alongside your Imperium armies. Like, I didn't think they were a full army that you could field. Like, I didn't think you could field a full army of Agents of the Imperium. Like, literally looking at the index that is available for Agents of the Imperium, which I have because I'm a fucking nerd, it literally just says, oh, you can put these guys in with your Space Marines or your Sisters of Battle or your, like, Imperial Guard sort of thing. Like, they didn't really have any rules that could allow them to stand alone. So I would be interested to see what the rules are that allow them to stand alone. But everybody's really mad at them for some reason, and I don't know why. Hey, Adornable! Thank you for the €2... Pound? Euro. I'm going with Euro. Super chat. And I'm also going to pretend that your username is a compliment to me, because that's how I take it. Thank you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I never know how to sound genuinely grateful when I get, like, you know, super chats and subscribers and things like that. I always sound like I'm coming off as a prick, so just know that I'm deeply moved. I just sound sarcastic 24/7. Hi, what's poppin'? Hey, Devil's Eclipse. We're poppin'. Pa-pa-pa. You're hilarious. Glad I found your channel. Well, thank you, Shimmy. Here's a little shimmy for you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, hated doing that noise. Good grief, good grief. I've never watched Les Mis before, and therefore I'm a fake theater kid. Listen, I've never seen any musical before. That's a lie. I've seen some musicals, but not many. Hello, Jillion pause emoji too. What's going on? What's poppin'? I'm painting little guys. Sideburns look great. Thank you, Finley Price. I am in two minds about them all the time. Everyone keeps telling me to grow my sideburns longer, and I don't get it. I simply don't get it. Like, I feel like, okay, this is just my personal opinion, right? I feel like sideburns are something you kind of gotta Hugh Jackman lean, like, you gotta lean into them like fucking Hugh Jackman and just like go whole hog, or like, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, that was my understanding of how it worked. Like, that's what I thought. You know what I mean? But now everyone's telling me, they're like, oh, you should grow sideburns, you should grow sideburns. Like, I don't understand you. No, adorable, thanks for the super chat. You should use Abaddon Black. You should use Abaddon Black on your nails. Listen, I have thought about it. I've thought about it really hard, but I cannot guarantee that that will, like, give me some kind of leprosis and make all of my fingernails fall off. And I'm terrified that that is the case. If someone can link me a scientific study that tells me definitively that using acrylic miniature paint on your nails will not kill me, then I'll do it. I'll use transfer sheets and everything. Like, I'll make these bad boys a fucking chapter of their own, like Space Marines. Like, I'll do it. I just need to know that it won't kill me. Chantel DeBoy, having a mental breakdown, releasing streaming? Hey, it's gonna be okay. I know things are hard right now for a lot of people, in a lot of places, in a lot of circumstances. But it is a fundamental truth of the universe that no matter what, the world is going to keep spinning, and we will find a way to get back on our feet. We have fallen from places lower than this, and every time we continue to climb. Up and up, until we're back on our feet, and running faster than we ever have before. It's gonna be okay. I can promise you that. I've been holding in a fart for like the last 3 seconds because I knew that would be an inappropriate way to end that. That would have been awful for everybody involved. Did you get your Bloons Tower Defense 6 progress back? I did not. I had to start again from scratch. But that's fine because I'm like pretty much all the way back to where I was in like a fraction of the time. Like, I fucking like min-maxed my Bloons playthrough and now I'm a fucking god at it. I just need to unlock all my levels again. Just stupid and annoying. Ethan fart moment. Shut up! Ethan, you're above being a fart streamer. Don't say things that I will eventually have to Google to verify whether or not they're true. Babe Jamaica is killing it. Thank you, Navia. I appreciate it. I tried to like, I genuinely thought to myself, like, what's a facial expression that shows off my eyes? And for some reason, this was it. The lighting in here is really weird now because I've got this fucking like light that's like, I need this to see my model, but I know that it like lights me like a serial killer. Or like a Wes Anderson film. I don't know anything about filmography. Ow, fuck me. That's bright. I am not beating the Bloons guy allegations. Absolutely not. How the hell is he playing piano and painting? I am not playing piano. I'm just listening to music. I tried to play piano at one point in my life. Because I was one of those like I was one of those weird kids whose family had a piano for some reason. So you know that I've never genuinely struggled at any point in my entire life. because I had a piano in my family living room. So I tried to play it, or I tried to learn to play it once when I was a kid, and pretty much I got to the point where I could play the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song off by heart without any sheet music, and that's it. I simply could not do anything else. Random question, is this video game soundtrack? Yes, this is the soundtrack for the video game A Short Hike, which, fun fact, was the first video game that I ever streamed 10 billion years ago. And I streamed it on Twitch, and a bunch of my friends came, and it was really, really, really fun. So, what happens normally when people try to stream video games for the first time is that, like, basically, you know, you'll go live on OBS, and, like, the quality will be awful, and everything will be shit, and nobody will watch you, and you'll go like, oh, damn, this isn't the fast track to fame and fortune that the internet has led me to believe. I'm never going to do this again. But what happened with me was that I streamed the small indie game A Short Hike, and a lot of my friends showed up. And because a lot of my friends showed up, a lot of strangers showed up as well, because there were like, you know, 5 to 10 people in the chat, because I have 5 to 10 friends. And so for my first stream I ever did, a bunch of people showed up, and so I was like, wow, this is great, and it's going to change my brain chemistry forever starting now. And I've been doing funny little videos on the internet ever since. Your outfit is awesome. Thank you, Mateo. I also like it. I like how it has a little heart thing here that's... You can sort of... I like how the little heart shape perfectly aligns with the heart of the choker here. Just like, look at that. It's like it's perfect. It was made for it. I like it. It's a nice little shape. It's too high up to be a boob window. So I like where it is. I like where it's at. Oop! I just painted my laptop. That's not fun. The only piano thing I remember is a very small bit of the Hollow Knight theme. That's still pretty good. That's a piano-heavy piece, to my understanding. I've never played Hollow Knight. I actually shouldn't talk too much about it because I simply don't know what I'm talking about, and I will be talking out of my ass. Everyone's like, oh, you gotta play Hollow Knight. You gotta play Hollow Knight. It's like the best game ever. We've been waiting 10 billion years for Silk Song. How's that wait going for you, by the way? Same, I was forced to play for 1 year, but I never got past the Some Little Duck song. Learning instruments is hard, and I realize I don't have the... I don't have the knack for it. Like, learning instrument takes a lot of time, patience, and practice in a skill that it isn't very conducive to me. Like, I am of the mind that anybody can do anything with enough practice and time. But when it comes to learning a musical instrument, the amount of time and practice it would take for me personally is so much higher than the enjoyment that I would get out of it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I love the outfit, especially the necklace. Thank you, Golden Perp. I didn't mean to say it like that. I thought your username was Golden Pup, but then as soon as I started reading it, I corrected myself because I looked with my eyes. And so that was just strange. When they inevitably remake Casablanca, you must be cast as Sam. Thank you. I don't know who that is. So I'm going to assume that's not an insult against my character. Which, honestly, like, that mentality has saved me from a lot of grief. Like, anytime someone says, hey, you look like this person, or you look like this name that you've never heard of before, my mind goes into self-defense mode and immediately goes, cool, I'm going to assume this is some kind of beloved celebrity and not a YouTuber who's been banished for sex crimes. It's always the second one. Always. Still debating I should post it. Well, see, I say you should post it. You know, it's my general view of, like, you know, posting things online is that if you have a fun bit of content, just put it out there. You know. I find that if you let yourself be paralyzed by, like, if you find yourself paralyzed by, like, oh, you know, if like, I want this thing to be perfect before I show it to the world, I feel like that's a very paralyzing sort of like mind space to be in, you know what I mean? Or at the very least for me, I know that if I get too bogged down with that, then I'll never do anything, you know what I mean? Like, one of the last YouTube videos that I posted on my channel was a 5-minute dramatic speech about why Duke Nukem from the video game series Duke Nukem is impotent and cannot ejaculate. And if I had, for a second, stopped to question my just genius, quite frankly, I would have never posted it, you know? Finished is better than perfect, and shared is better than hidden. That's my feelings. My brain is too full of useless things to remember how to play instruments. Stygian, you're so valid. That's so real. I know all of the rules of Dungeons & Dragons, and that's really just, like, taking space up there. I remember one time, like, when I was young, God, this is gonna be so cringe. When I was young, I tried reading, like, one of the Sherlock Holmes novels for the first time, because I got, like, a book of it for Christmas, because I was a kid, and when you're a kid, you just get books, from people, and I remember reading, like, one of the actual, like, Sherlock Holmes novels for the first time, and at one point Sherlock goes like, "Ah, yes, it's wonderful to meet you, Watson. I'm not going to remember your name, because my mind is a palace, and I must, you know, keep a close eye on all of the information that I put in my mind palace, so I don't put useless information in there, so I will forget your name." And as, like, a 13-year-old, I'm like, God, that's so smart. He's so based. I love how you're wise, funny, sassy, at the same time you're wonderful, out of the cat. Well, thank you, Ursan1510. I try my best, you know? I try my best to be all of those things. And you know what? Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm a weird little rat that lives in your walls. And I just sleep in there, chewing at your drywall. I love your shirt. Thank you, Minnows Berries. I like it too. It's very comfortable and very stretchy. But I'm not stretching it out. It's my perfect size. It's like the perfect mix of just stretchy and not. I'm a bit of a D&D newbie. Well, more of Mo, you know, there's only one way to learn. That's by doing. What are your pronouns, by the way? Golden Purp, my pronouns are he, him. There they are there. I need to automate these little things, because, like, I just need these, like, little messages to pop up every now and again, because I'm just not going to do them manually. And I think they're cute, so, you know. How do you even get into D&D? Well, that's kind of the thing, because D&D is like a group game, PGMAR. You kind of need to know some people who are as crazy as you are and interested to get into it. Like, you need to assemble a team, and that's always the hardest part, especially as an adult. Like, finding 5 to 6 adult friends to, like, coordinate and, like, run an activity together is one of the hardest things that a living person can do. But it's also one of the most rewarding. So, if you want to play Dungeons & Dragons, just be like, hey, does anyone here want to play Dungeons & Dragons? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Assemble a team and find a time. Yep, that's always the hardest part. I was so lucky because, like, back in my home country, I played D&D with all of my old co-workers, sort of thing. And because I was playing D&D with all of my co-workers, right? I was also playing D&D with all of the upper management from my job as well. So I was playing D&D with the people who controlled my schedule as well as their own schedules. So they literally bent heaven and earth to make sure we would have Monday nights free. Which was awesome, honestly. Hank the Ghost. I'm thinking of either going Deathcore or Necron. Which, in your opinion, is better? Ooh. I mean, well, it depends on the context. Like, are you going for kill? Is this for a kill team? Is this for a full army? If it's a full army, I mean, Necrons have more choice, I would say. Because the Death Corps are, you know, they're veteran guard. Like, there's only, like, I guess you could also just get, you know, regular Cadian shock troops and paint them up to be Death Corps. But I feel like if you want to get a little bit more variety in what you're doing, Necrons is a good choice. So this is a tough one for me because, like, I always thought I would be a guard boy, because, like, I just love guys. Don't clip that and take that out of context. I just love, like, just dudes, just people, just like humans in a fantasy world. Like, they're not superheroes, they're not like super soldiers, they're not touched by the warp or have psychic powers or anything like that. They are literally just men with guns, and there's so many of them. The indomitable human spirit made manifest. That's what I love about them. Ooh, full army with Kit-Bash tanks. That would be good. That would be good. I mean, hey, if you like tanks, like, there's no better army for you than the Guard. That's one of the things that kind of puts me off of it. Like, I think I love my little dudes. You know what I mean? I love my little dudes too much. But I do have the veteran troopers from the Kill Team box set, and I am very excited to paint them up. You know what I mean? Nice. Hello, hi Alfie, how's it going? What's poppin'? Welcome back. This is crazy. I'm starting to like see and remember usernames, which is wild to me. Military Wolf 6969. I saw that message before Nightbot deleted it for excessive emojis. I apologize for that, and thank you. I like this outfit too. Sorry for asking, bye, you're such a beautiful creature. Well, thank you, Akira Telecos. I don't know what the question was. I must have missed it. That's a shame. Yo, yo, hello! Skylar Holden, what's going on? What's poppin'? Nightbot meanie. Yeah. Honestly, I should like deactivate that. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with like throwing a bunch of emojis in chat. Like, I think slow mode for me prevents most of the abuse of that. Like, I understand why it doesn't like just emoji spam because it's like really big and like, you know, everything like that. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it, especially when the emojis people send are nice emojis, because I banned all the evil ones. I had to ban the skull emoji. That was very upsetting for me. I love the skull emoji. It's goth. Why wouldn't I like it? Good night, Ethan. Well, a good night to you too, Hank the Ghost. I hope you have a wonderful evening. My evening was a little bit more wonderful, just because you were here. Hi, I love your hair. Well, thank you, Close. I didn't do anything special to it. It rained on me today, so it's going all over the fucking place. So I'm glad that it's coming out nice on camera, because right now it's Frizz City, baby. Frizz City. Hello, Music Dream. Hello. What you painting today? Skylar, I am painting my Kommandos. Right now I'm just... Oh god, that like... See, the lighting is good for my face, but it makes my mini look like... It just looks so oversaturated. For some reason it makes his like legs look really short. That's... Wow. Wow. Whoop. Don't know if you answered my question, but it's alright you didn't. Oh, let me take a look. I miss a lot of things. A question for the wise out of the cat. What would someone do if he can't obtain someone he likes or even get a conversation with them, not because he is nervous? Oh, sounds like you're looking for romance advice. In which case, I am probably the worst person to ask. I don't know jack shit about romance. Everyone I've ever dated has had to beat me over the fucking head with a brick. They tried so hard to get my attention, and I was just like, thanks. You're being nice to me, and I don't know why. Yeah. I mean, my sort of romance advice just in general is to just be yourself, you know? Just do things you like to do, have fun with the people you like to have fun with, and if something happens, then something happens. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, I don't think too hard about it, obviously, because I'm very stupid. But yeah, like, I've always thought of, like, romance as, like, something that's, like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, that's okay. It happened to me, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm very happy with the current relationship that I find myself in. But again, I had to be beaten over the head with a brick, because my girlfriend liked me, and I was too stupid to see it. Ethan, how does it feel to be so cool that people throw the Bible at you? Listen, people throw the Bible at just about anything these days. Which I don't understand. I don't get it. What's Jesus got to do with anything? Be yourself, and if you don't scare them off, it's meant to be. That's exactly right. Yeah, you just got to stop thinking about romance as romance, and you just have to try and, like, you know, make nice connections with the people you want to make nice connections with. Where did you get that awesome top? Well, NJazel52, I stole it from my girlfriend, who bought it for her, and I took it. I took it, and I'm wearing it now, and she can't do anything about it. Ha! Why did I make a link noise? I want it. Well, you can't have it, NJazel52. Mostly because you probably don't. You probably don't want it. Like, listen, I need to, like, break some of the illusions of, you know, I need to break one of the illusions between streamer and viewer right now. When I go to stream, like, I have a bunch of lights staring at me. I have to, like, close my doors, which, like, absolutely breaks ventilation in my room. So I get so sweaty so fast. There is so much product in my hair right now that's preventing it from just becoming a sopping wet mess. And so as soon as I'm done streaming, I have to peel my clothes off because they are stuck to my body with just layers of grime and sweat. Which I know won't deter everyone, which I'm genuinely upset about. It's real be nice to Ambaddy Hours in chat right now. Because she's great. We love her. But no one more than me. I'm trying to get as much light on this thing as possible. I'm sort of, like, stuck between, like, trying to make sure I'm in frame, but also making sure they have enough light to see what I'm doing. And that's fine. That's actually works really well. It makes me look really professional. Start school Thursday? Hell yes! We love higher education. I've been thinking, like, I don't think I'd ever want to go, like, back to school for anything major. Like, I'm happy with the sort of degree that I got in university, or college, as some of you call it. But I wouldn't be opposed to going back and, like, taking, like, a class or something. Like, I'm thinking that if I have a bit more, like, spare time after I get a bit more situated in my new home country, I might take, like, a cool creative class or something like that. That could be fun. I feel like now that I'm out of having to, like, you know, now that I don't need to learn things, I kind of want to learn things. Does that make sense? Like, when you're forced to go to school because it's the thing you do, you know, I was sort of like, hey, this sucks. I don't wanna be here, but I'm going to go to all of my classes because I'm paying money for them. And if you skip classes in tertiary education that you're paying for, like, what? You know what I mean? I've never understood why people skip uni classes. It was such a big thing back when I was in uni. Like, people just skip all the time, and I'm like, you are paying several thousands of dollars to take this class. That's just money that you're, like, leaving on the table. What are you doing? If you wanted to watch everything online, just take a YouTube seminar. You don't need to go tens of thousands of dollars in debt. People just aren't very nice there. I'm not excited. Well, that's no good. I mean, that's always the hard thing about schooling. Like, no matter what sort of system of education that you're in, like, the worst part about going through school and, like, uni and stuff for me was that you didn't get to choose who was in your cohort. You know what I mean? Like, that was my big thing in high school. Like, I hung around with the, like, you know, the gamer boys. That was my crew. Fucking League of Legends, Counter-Strike, and early competitive Overwatch for just days and days and days and days. Like, that was the crew that I had. And I'm gonna be so real with you. Like, there is 2 alternate universes down from this one. I am a white supremacist. Like, the fact that I ended up the way that I did is no short of a miracle. You know what I mean? Yeah, my crew in high school was just more or less the worst. Some of them were cool. I miss Tim. Where in Oz you from? Lewis Barber, I am from Melbourne, Australia. That's where I was originally born and raised, and now I live here in sunny Canada. I kind of zoned out, was brought right back in when you said I am a white... Okay, I said I could have been. If things worked out a little bit differently for me, I like, the alt-right pipeline was there. It was there. You know what I mean? Because then I just sort of had this moment after high school where I was like, oh, actually, I don't really like a lot of the people that I hang out with, so I'm gonna not do that anymore. Hello, James Travis. Hi, hi. Excuse me. That was gross, I'm sorry. I hope you can follow the path you feel best about. I hope that for you guys, too. School's hard, you know what I mean? Like, it's always... You always gotta, like, balance, you know, what you want to do versus what you, like, can do. You know what I mean? I can't wait till August, it's gonna be so fun. I have art school. Hell yes! We stan art school in this house. I love Australia, I wish I could live there. God, me too. No. I did that for a while, I'm happy to have a new adventure. You know what I mean? Happy to be here in sunny Canada. I have the old metal orc commandos. Did the sculpt change for the plastic kit? I don't know, Mr. Trubo. You tell me. Does this guy look familiar? It's absolutely not in focus, but that's okay. Oh god, the camera settings, I promise you my paint job looks better than this. Although the cream on his shirt actually does look pretty bad. Like, that's... I only put 1 layer on that so far, so I really need to get on in there. You know what I mean? Scariest part of school is at only half time, so I'm gonna have to get a job. That's... I mean... Yeah, juggling work and school is, like, a really hard thing to do. But, if you can find a good balance, you know, it can set you up pretty well. I mean, I say that as someone who had a really good, I had a really good uni job. I worked at an escape room for years and years and years. And I loved everybody I worked with, and it was a great job. And I got to sit around doing puzzles for a living when I was in university. Everyone's like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Here's a fun fact about me. I fucking hate escape rooms. Can't stand them. I don't like being put in a situation where there are things that, like, are frustrating to understand. Like, I cannot get my head around that. What, you want to put me in a room, and then, like, you want to put me in a room where I have to, like, figure out how to get out? I like knowing how things work. I don't like feeling stupid. No, but I loved working at the escape room though. Like that was honestly the biggest thing for me. Like it was a chill job. I love the people that I work with. You know, they really supported me in a lot of ways. We all played D&D together. And I miss those bastards. And I'm gonna be very happy to see them when I fly back to Australia. You know what I mean? Night being a bully again. Yeah, Nightbot will do that. I love escape rooms. Listen, I don't... Like, when I say I hate escape rooms, I mean that purely from a personal perspective. Like, I know that they can be good. You know what I mean? Like, I know that they can be fun, and I know that a lot of people have fun in them. It's just not something that I would spend money on. That's the way that I think about it. Like, if you were having, like, an organized corporate event, and as part of that corporate event, like, if I was to do a team bonding event at an escape room, I'd love that, because I don't have to pay for it. But if I had to pay $60 to do an escape room, and, like, if I was unable to make it out of the room, I would feel like I've only got half of my money's worth. And I have no one else to blame but myself, because I'm stupid. You see? Gonna get a friend to take the job interview first so I can plan out what to say. I mean... yeah, job interviews are hard. I've had to do a lot of those recently. I've had to do a couple of those recently, and yeah, it's really hard. Like I'm someone who's very fortunate in the sense that I interview really well because I can talk to a camera. Like I can talk to fucking nobody who's there. Like I'm looking at a phone right now. Do you think I'm looking at you? Do you think I'm registering you as a person? I'm not. Well, I register you as a person in the sense that I'm very appreciative that you're here in the chat watching and following along with my various exploits. Like and subscribe, thank you. But like, you know, you're on the other end of that. And I can still yap. I can still yap. You know what I mean? Are Australia people nice? It depends on who you find, you know what I mean? Australian, like, the best and worst are found amongst them. Like, that can be said about anywhere you go, really. Like, you know, I think when you get into, like, the capital cities, you can find... The capital cities, at least the ones I've lived in, you have nice bad people. Like, you don't have people who are, like, rude on the street or are gonna, like, fight you or, like, put you in danger. You're just gonna get like, the worst you're gonna find is, like, a Melbourne hipster who'll, like, look you up and down and go, like... That's what you're wearing? Like, shit like that. If that's the worst thing that we have in terms of people, like, we don't have much to complain about. You know what I mean? My plan for life, to be honest, is just find someone enough to that likes you enough for your bullshit. Honestly, that's the dream. That's all you need. You need someone to match your freak, I believe is the term that the children are using. When I visited Australia, people were very nice, but I noticed that people are less likely to talk to strangers than Americans are. Like, when I was making small talk, it seemed to weird people out. Yes! We don't talk to strangers. Like, that's... I don't understand why that's a thing in the United States. We don't talk to strangers. Like, they're strangers. Stranger danger. How are you? NJ52, I'm doing very well. It's the end of the day. I've had a good day. And now I'm painting some weird little guys. And I get to hang out with all of you. Highlight of my week. Right there. Please make friends with your community. How do you stop being strangers unless you talk? Listen, if you have a reason to talk to somebody, by all means. I don't know. Maybe I'm just terrified. Maybe I'm just anxious of strangers. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm riddled with anxiety. You know what? That's probably it. Man, I'm taking my driving test soon and I'm terrified. Don't be terrified, Skylar Holden. You've got Holden in your name. like, your surname is the brand of a car. I don't know if that joke tracks outside of Australia. Do they have Holdens in the rest of the world? Like a Holden automobile? That might just be an Australian thing, actually, now that I think about it. In which case, I might sound insane, and I apologize for that. But hey, driving a car is like riding a bike. It's just significantly larger, and way harder to hit someone with. So don't worry about it. Steals your figurines. No! I need them! Also the highlight of my week as well. Well, thank you, more of Mo. You're the highlight of my week too. I said that first. Damn it. Hi, how are you? I'm good, how are you? I'm good, how are you? I'm good, how are you? I get caught in those loops all the time. All the time. I earned the respect of a distant Australian relative by out-drinking them. That's how you do it, Snack. Like, we love alcohol. We are a deeply alcoholic country. Not everybody. We don't shame people who don't drink, but when we get on the beers, mate. Literally, like, here's a piece of Melbourne culture for you. Here's a piece of Melbourne culture. During coronavirus, we in Melbourne had one of the, like, biggest lockdowns in, like, the history of the world. People still protest the lockdowns to this day. There haven't been any COVID lockdowns for a matter of years now, but we still get anti-lockdown protests from the weirdo right community in Melbourne, which is bizarre, and I don't understand it. But we had the longest lockdown in, like, the history of the world, and our, like, Premier of State, Daniel Andrews, you know, I will never advocate for a politician, but Dan was alright. He was like, listen, you know, like, we all got to do what we can to protect our fellow community by, you know, staying indoors and, like, not spreading the virus around, and pretty soon we'll all get on the beers. The phrase "get on the beers" became, like, our national quote. Like, we would parrot that, we'd make memes of it, there were, like, hardcore dance remixes. Beers, get on the beers. A shining beacon of hope in dark times. What's the worst thing about Australia? I don't know. There's, that's a good question, actually. Like, I don't really, like, because it is all that I know, like, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the great all sort of, like, blend into one sort of thing. We get very few cool events. Like, no bands come down to see us. Like, my favorite band, Gloryhammer, literally came down to Australia for the first time in 9 years, the week after I left. Like, the week after I got on a plane to Canada, which was, actually no, it wasn't a week, it was a couple of months. It was around my birthday, of all times. The first time they'd ever been there in 9 years, and they tour everywhere. They go to Europe, they go to North America, they go to Canada sometimes. Not Vancouver, though, for some reason. They go around all over the place, and they only went to Australia once every 9 years, and they did it as soon as I left. So I'm still upset about that. We don't get bands, we don't get events. We have one good video game convention, and it's so good that I'm crossing the ocean to go back to it this year. Zing! I start to think that the USA is the only non-drinking country. Well, yeah, that depends on where you go. Like, I went to Los Angeles one time, and I had some drinks with some people there. There's some people in California who drink. And they know how to have a good time, even though it's super expensive. I remember at a climate function, the AUPM was photographed drinking wine straight from the bottle. Too bloody right. There is a, I think one of the most beloved Australian Prime Ministers is, what's his name? I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head, because he's, like, old, like, you know, the only footage of him is in, like, black and white, like, he's that old, but he would get pissed at a footy match, which, you know, to translate for all of you non-Australians, he would get drunk at a game of football, like, live in a stadium with full of people, and everyone loved him for it. Everyone was like, hell fucking yeah, we love our Prime Minister who gets on the beers with the rest of us. And now what do we have? ScoMo? Albo. Those are the real names of our prime ministers, by the way. Evil. Slay girly. Thank you, Sizzler. I slay every day. That's a lie. For the majority of today, I wore a t-shirt that I had been wearing for 3 days. It smelled bad. It smelled bad. Will Wood mentioned, was he? I simply could not tell you. I do not know. Didn't one disappear into the ocean? Yes, our former Prime Minister Harold Holt went for a swim and never came back. And then we named a swimming pool after him. That's real. Look it up. Everyone's like freaking out about how good our swimmers are in the Olympics right now. And it's because it's considered a moral failing in our country to not teach your children how to swim. Probably because one of our prime ministers went for a swim and never came back. So... Do you like Vegemite? Well, Music Dream, I do like Vegemite, but I like it under very specific circumstances. Everybody who's like, oh, Vegemite's gross, they, you know, that's, people who say like Vegemite's gross is people who like take a canister of motor oil, drink it, and go like, oh, why does this taste bad? Because you're not using it in the way that you should. Here's the thing, right? What you need to do is get a nice piece of, like, white bread. Like, the plasticky, home brand Wonder Bread white bread. You put it in the toaster. You lightly toast it. You don't want to make it too toasted. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. You do want it to be too toasted. You want it to be crunchy. You want... When you put this okay. So you take your bread, you put it in the toaster, you crisp it up until it's, like, nice and brown, and then you put just a fuck ton of butter on that piece of bread. Like, you melt that butter into the bread until it's basically French toast, right? And then you take a little bit of Vegemite, probably like a quarter to the amount of butter that you put on there, a thin spread of Vegemite on that crunchy toast that's lathered in butter. Gorgeous. Delicious. The best thing you've ever fucking tasted in your life. If you think Vegemite's gross, then I'm sorry, that's a skill issue. Get good. I love your makeup. Thank you, Jinx. I like yours too. That only works if you have makeup on currently, and I simply don't know if that's the case or not, because I cannot see you. Or can I? I can't. Ethan, do you want to be known as the Vegemite guy as well? I will. Listen, I will be a fucking Vegemite kid till the day that I die. There are a few hills that I will die on, and they are weirdly specific. Every one of them. You should try it with cheese on top. That also fucks. Hell yes. Connoisseurs in the house tonight. Do you ever paint Tyranids? Well, Terra OO, I've painted some. I have my one Tyranid who lives on my desk. This is the one Tyranid that I've completed before in my life. Where is he? There he is. There he is. The lighting is, like, really bad because it's, like, primed for my face sort of thing, so it's... The paint job is better than it comes out on camera. Like, that's all that I can say. It's got a nice sheen to it, though. Swing, swing. But yeah, I'm still working through the Tyranids of the Leviathan box set. I sort of use the Tyranids as, like, an icebreaker sort of thing. Like, primarily I paint Orcs and Space Marines. Although I haven't painted Space Marines in a while. Let's be real. So I primarily paint Orcs and Space Marines, but if I ever want to, like, shift it up a little bit, you know, get a little bit freaky with it, I'll pull out some of the Tyranids, because I bought the Leviathan box set, so I have a lot of them. I like your choker. Thank you, Dusty. I like it too. Even though, like, all chokers, it, like, makes my neck hurt after a while. Or maybe that's just because of my terrible posture. You know what I mean? Oh my, you painting minis? Yes, Danielle, I'm painting them slowly but surely. I think I'm just hanging out more tonight. Like, I'm actually getting very little painting progress done, and I've been at this for like an hour. But you know what? That's fine. Because I enjoy this. I enjoy these special little moments that we have together. You know what I mean? They are my favorite to paint. Hell yeah, Tara. I'm more partial to the... See, this is what I love about Warhammer, is that, like, you got something for everybody. Like, if you want to paint some, like, monster freaks, like, you got the Tyranids, you got the Chaos Demons, like, you have things that you can do. For me, I like armor, I like sci-fi shit, and I just like how fun the orcs are. So, that's my go-to. And I really love that the Tyranids exist, so I can shoot them all on the field of battle. Pew, 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 pew. I love singing songs very loud when I'm home alone. Hell yes. I would do that, but my walls are thin. I do that in the shower, honestly. Like, that's my, like, go-to. That's my go-to singing destination of choice. Except, like, I'm not really good at, like I don't really listen to, like, a lot of, like, pop music or anything like that. So whenever I, like, sing at home alone in, like, the shower, just, like, around my house, it's always, like, evil marching songs. Like, it's not like, yeah, girl, get it, pop song, Charlie XCX. It's like, we crusade across the burning stars. I don't know. So real for that. God. It's mainly falsettos and Legally Blonde. That sounds like music terminology that I do not understand. Isn't that where they sing really deep? Oh, oh. Guys, I've decided, I've got, like, the tiniest taste of attention on the internet, so I'm going to quit my job and become a pop star. This is non-negotiable. This is simply non-negotiable. Yes. Or, like, the Dark Tide soundtrack. I know the one song from the Dark Tide soundtrack that everybody knows. The Imperium March, or whatever it is. That fucking slaps. Best video game soundtrack, OCE. New here, love the makeup. Thank you, Uto the Egg. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you decided to stick around. I'm painting weird little guys. After I painted my face. Ow. This thing is really hot. I don't like how hot this thing is. So I have to go. Never apologize, Engjazel52. You have a life outside of the internet, and you should go live it. You should go live it. Because honestly, like, there is so much more to life than what you see on the internet. Please, please, for the love of God, sometimes you should log off and go outside and touch grass. I'm not saying that to anybody in particular based on anything that they've said here. I'm just saying that as like a general thing. Do you know how great it is to just put your phone away or like close your laptop lid and just fully go offline for a little bit and go outside into your local community? Here's my tip for you. This is what you're gonna do this weekend. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to a fucking library. When was the last time you went to a library? Years ago, I bet. You know those things are still around? You know you can go into there right now and like, just read. Just get library books. And you can even get a card for free and take them home. Do you know what you can also do at libraries? I'm on such a pro-library kick at the moment, you have no fucking idea. You can just go and use their printers. And some libraries will even give you a couple of like credits to use, like every month. So you can just get some like $5 worth of free printing. And when sheets are like 20 cents each, you can get all the printing you want, baby. I printed stuff today. Do you don't want to see what I printed? You want to see what I printed today? I'm not going to show you what I printed today because it's a shipping label that has my address on it, and I'm not going to put that on camera. I'm not going to put that on camera. I'm absolutely not going to put that on camera. I am so, like, paranoid about accidentally showing personal information on camera. I'm so against that. I am, like, laser focused. Like, every picture that I take and post on the internet, I ask myself, can someone use this to track me down and kill me? Or steal all of my money? we went out to... This is funny. I haven't actually told Ambaddy about this. We went out to like an event over the last weekend. Just kind of like a community market sort of thing. And we took some cute pictures. I have some cute pictures of Aunt Batty on my phone, but I can never post them because she is straight up holding her bank card in her left hand, and it's just fully visible. Like I was gonna be like, you know, I should put this on my Instagram story. Like, it's a really cute picture. Like, I love my girlfriend. I wanna, like, you know, post her on my Instagram story. Oh, this is personable information that somebody could use to rob her. And me, probably, too. Like, I think it was the joint card. Censor it. See, I feel like if I put a sticker on it, someone can, like, I feel like somehow somebody can reverse engineer that. Like, they can put that through a machine, like, take the stickers off. Like, I'm having an emergency. I can't find the Null Oil because I took it. I have it now. All your Null Oil is belong to me. Not him forgetting censor bars were a thing. But see, if I censor it, that will only draw attention to it. And if people draw attention to it, they'll know that there's something there that I'm trying to hide. And if there's something there that I'm trying to hide, they will, like, reverse engineer it, or, like, try and break the censorship, or, like, put it through an anti-blurrer and get all the numbers. Freaks and creeps are on the internet waiting to steal your personal information. Smoldering Hunk, no, this is not the Stardew Valley soundtrack. This is the A Short Hike soundtrack, which is a different indie game, but it's just as delightful. Ethan, you're overthinking this. I'm not overthinking this. People have had their identity stolen over less. Do you think I'm gonna be out here posting pictures of where I live or personal information? Absolutely not. And you know what? If you're telling me that I'm overthinking this, then you are the one who is most likely going to rob me. You are the one who is most likely going to steal from me. You are the one who is most likely going to find out where I live, take my personal information, because you're trying to get me to let my guard down, and I am simply not having it. Sir, / madam, / other, I'm not sure. I gotta go. Get out of here, Ace King. It was good to have you around. Hey, you're gorgeous. Thank you, Nevaeh Jones. I try my best. Off topic, but also on topic. Do you recommend people get into Warhammer 40k? I see it everywhere, and honestly, I'm interested. Well, Uto, if you are interested, I would recommend it. It's one of those things where, like, Warhammer is one of those hobbies and franchises that, like, you can genuinely get out of it what you want. Like, if you just want to sit around and, like, paint some weird little guys, then you can do that. Like, you can just paint up some weird little guys, you can slap colors on them, like, you can have little art projects, and you're absolutely fine to do that. If you want to play a really in-depth tabletop game, you can also do that. Like, there is truly something for everybody. And if you're interested, I would definitely recommend picking up one of the, like, starter kits. Don't, like, people will be like, oh, you know, you have to, like, plan out your entire army that you want to do right off the bat. Like, no, just get one of the starter kits, like the Space Marines or the Tyranids or any of the, you know, Age of Sigmar ones, if you like the more medieval fantasy kind of thing. And yeah, just get some paints, watch some tutorials, like, they have official tutorials teaching you how to do things, and just go for it. Have fun with it. I love both of those things. Hell yes! Warhammer is like playing Dungeons and Dragons without any of the role-playing, and you're also playing, like, 70 different guys who all act on the same turn. Mwah. I love your shirt. Thank you, Alexander. I like it too. I shouldn't stretch it out. I'm not stretching it out. It's perfectly my size. It's the perfect size for my torso. No stretching whatsoever. Have you ever heard of Gunpla? A dim channel? I have heard of it. I've never done it. You know what? I think that, you know, one of my, there's a couple of, like, video ideas that I want to do. There's a couple of video ideas that I want to do if I, like, you know, could make a little bit of money doing, like, you know, streaming or posting videos or anything like that. Like, basically any money that I make on YouTube, I'm just gonna, like, put towards doing YouTube things because I think it's fun. One of the sort of video ideas that I want to do is to, like, buy a gunpla kit and just, like, figure it out. Like, I don't want to look up any tutorials, I don't want to look up anything, I just want to be like, listen, Warhammer is my thing, can I figure out how to do this completely different model building hobby? And maybe all the gunpla people will get mad at me for that, but it might also be good television, and that's the important thing to me. Best way to engage with 40k is to pick whichever models you think are cool and never interact with any other fans. Listen, some fans are cool. If you want to interact with other Warhammer fans, go outside. I haven't done it in a while, but normally I'll like spend a bit of time on the weekends going to my local Warhammer store to paint. And a lot of the people who go outside are very chill. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones who go outside. You gotta watch out for the people who don't go outside. But that's just true in general. Ooh, we're doing orcs today? Yes, we are. Dirty you, Jester. 40k is a great world to absorb and build in. Just take time and steer clear of chuds. Yep, that's always the tip. That's just a good tip in general. I knew a guy who would paint 40k figures then sell them. Some people do. That's the thing that I've never quite understood. Like I've seen some like pretty whiz-bang painters. I've seen some pretty whiz-bang painters in my time, and some of them do, like, sell their services. I've never understood that. But you know what? Some people are willing to pay money for that, and you know what? Good for them. And good for the people who can make a living painting the cool things. You are gorgeous. Thank you, Ryan. I try my best. This is really not comfortable because I can't put any pressure on this whatsoever. But I'm glad you think so. Get out of here, Axel. It's always good to have you around. Okay, I'm in that stage where I'm just like putting a bunch of like thin layers of like a really dark color. It's absolutely not going to show on camera, but I kind of have to do it in order to get the model done. You know what I mean? Oh, ring light, we're really in it now. God. That was how I looked. I did the meme. Yeah, like you can barely see the like I'm putting like thin layers of brown on his mask. It's not coming up on camera. I met a lovely girl in my local hobby shop. Hell yeah! See, this is what happens when you go outside, you meet people. You bond over the things that you enjoy, and then you make acquaintances. You make friends. It's great. It's great. Then she bought a towel box. Well, nobody's perfect. I think that Space Marine players are so happy that the Tau exists because it's finally taken some of the heat off them as like the people who are always made fun of. It's just bullying. But it's fun bullying, you know what I mean? You telling us to touch grass? Listen, I just think touching grass is a good thing to do. You gotta do it every now and again, just for your own sanity, you know what I mean? Hello, hello, Olive, welcome back. What's poppin'? How we doing? What's the word? What's your major? What was that? Feist. Never stop collecting Tau. I feel like the Tau are like the heel of the 40k universe. You know, like the wrestling terminology, the heel. It's like they're the ones everyone loves to rag on, but it's still good that they're there, because sometimes you need a villain. Some Space Marine fans take the riffing way too far. Yeah, some Space Marine fans will do that. It does happen from time to time. I love going outside to fish and golf a lot. Hell yes! Now those are my kind of hobbies. Well, I've never played golf, and I don't think I would enjoy it. Golf is one of those hobbies that it's like, listen, I can get the appeal, but it is simply not for me. You know what I mean? Ethan, can I make a fan cam? Sure, absolutely. I have no idea what that, like, actually means or entails, but you have my full permission. I'm too old for this. I'm so old. Don't bully us Votan fans, there's 10 of us. See, this is, I almost want to get into Votan simply just so I can be the 11th fan. And also because I think dwarves are cool. I don't play Warhammer, I'm so lost, but I enjoy being here. And I enjoy having you here, Danielle. I'm so sorry, it must sound like we are fully insane. But you know what? That's fine. I feel like if you did golf once, you'd love it. See, I think I've played like, I think I have played some golf. It wasn't like golf, but it wasn't mini golf either. It was like, I played medium golf, you know? Like, I went to play golf with my grandparents one time, and like, my grandparents are very old, so they like can't do full, you know, 10 billion yard courses anymore. Like, they cannot, they like can't walk that far. So I played a little bit of like light golf, and I was like, I need control over my body and strength, and I simply don't have that. Listen, I am a very articulate kind of guy. Like, I have a lot of ambulation, I have a lot of like muscle control when it comes to my face. When it comes to how hard I can hit a golf ball, I have no control over that. Like, I can either go, you know, feathered touch or power drive, and that is it. There is no in between, I have no control. Even when I was playing, like, Wii golf. Even when I'm playing Wii golf, I couldn't do it. Medium golf. What am I supposed to call it? It wasn't mini golf. There was no windmills or like giant Godzillas that you had to putt the ball into, which is why it gets a 0 out of 10 for me. We're all weird. That's what gives life flavor. That's exactly right, Marg. Then I can't draw your makeup right. Please help. Here, let me do this. Does that help? Should I just stay here? Should I just stay here and be a reference image? No, can't do it. Can't do it! Even Wii golf. Listen! I'm not good at controlling my raw power. Like, that's my problem. I'm so strong, and I just can't control it. That's my problem. I have too much testosterone flowing through my veins, clearly. What am I doing? Alright, what color do I need to paint this guy? I love this guy's, like, stupid little hat. Like, he looks like one of those leather guys from the 90s, you know what I mean? Like, one of them. Like, I love his leather hat. I'm not changing it. It's gonna be solid black leather. I get that reference pose in a World War II postcard. Wish you were here. The Wii was amazing. Hell yes, Smoldering Hunk. That was my first ever video game console. So it's one I have a lot of nostalgia for. We weren't allowed video games in our house, but we got the Wii because it was supposedly healthy, because of all the motion controls and stuff that you did. We got Wii Fit as a household because we wanted to get fit, and the Wii balance board told me I was almost obese. And that like really like threw a spanner in my self-esteem for a good like 20 years, I think, after that point. Which apparently is a very like common thing that I've seen happen. Like, apparently there are a lot of people who have been traumatized by Wii Fit because the video game told them they were deeply unhealthy, when in actual fact it simply could not make those judgments for other people under any circumstances whatsoever. Wii Fit really fucked with a lot of people, and it fucked with me. I did a golf ARG driving range thing once, just slamming a golf ball with a projector. Hell yes. Like, I've been to a driving range before, but, like, never to practice, like, direction. Only magnitude. Always that way, stupid Wii Fit. Yeah, I don't know what they were. Whew. I mean, hey, it shamed me into working out, I guess. BMI is a trash metric of health anyway. That's so true, Ling. Ling the bug. That's so fucking true. Don't use BMI. Like, it's outdated. Doesn't work. I think I just spilled ginger ale all over myself. Being 6'5", it always said I was fat even when I was in the military. Yeah, see, that's what it does. Like, it doesn't take all those other factors into account. I mean, for me, I was a pretty chunky kid growing up, and like I was tall and chunky. I think the thing it wasn't Wii Fit that like, okay, first of all, like the sort of standard disclaimer that I always have when talking about health, like weight does not equal health. Like, I lost a bunch of weight and got more healthy, but when I say healthy, I mean that in the context of like my family's predisposition to certain illnesses and stuff like that, and like, you know, I wasn't unhealthy because I was overweight when I was younger. I was just unhealthy in general, and physical fitness was a way for me to stop doing that. So that's just my you know, disclaimer anytime I talk about fitness stuff. But for me, the thing that really kicked me into gear in terms of like wanting to actually get out and work on my physical fitness was when I put my Mii character into Mario Kart 8 on the Nintendo Wii, because you make Miis and you could like make them tall. You could change their height. Like when you made a Mii character, you could change their height and width. So when I put my Mii character into Mario Kart 8, it automatically assigned me the heavy class, along with Wario and Donkey Kong and Rosalina for some reason. But having that happen to me was the thing that really made me go like, oh, actually, maybe I should go out and lose some weight. Which again, it was like purely a me thing. Like my weight was unhealthy given my life circumstance. You can be overweight and still healthy. I was not, however. Unrelated, but I love throwing the Wii... I love throwing the Wii Fit board at unsuspecting bypasses. That's an insane thing to say. I used to use the Wii balance board as a footstool underneath my desk, and it was great. The only thing it was used for. Also, skinny people are very unhealthy, but nobody cares because fat shaming. Yeah, we don't tolerate fat shaming in this house, under no circumstances. It's just stupid. Just stupid. Recently acquired almost $4,000 worth of orcs from a friend. Any advice? Yes, Nathorn. Give them to me. Mail them to my home. That is far too many orcs for a single person, and you will go mad with power if you have them. So you should really send them my way. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Also, every time I see a new look on you, I always do a double take. Oh, thank you. Yes, stop it. Stop it. What was that noise? See, it's only a big shock this time because I have a different camera angle. Like that's mostly what's doing it. Normally you're like over there. You can see my desk. In fact, I sort of have to like, these aren't high-waisted pants, but I sort of like at this weird camera angle that I have them like hoisted up on my waist, because like if I have them lower down to where my waist actually is, it kind of just looks like I'm wearing a crop top and not wearing any pants, and that's not the kind of stream that I want to have. You know what I mean? Any tips on selling an army? I'm trying to sell about 1,000 points of Death Guard. Mail them to me for free. No, that's a joke. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I think eBay is like the common thing that people buy on. Like, I don't think there's any. Maybe there's like local Discord servers in like your particular community. Like, I know there's a couple of those around here, but yeah, like I think eBay is usually like the go-to place for people selling miniatures. And yeah, secondhand miniatures are a great thing to sell because people just dump them into like paint remover and it strips them all off and you can start again. Thank you for the super chat, Rolf. Thanks, I've had no luck selling with a fake Facebook marketplace. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think eBay's really like the best go there. Like, yeah, I think eBay's really the best go there. You know what I mean? Like that seems to be the going place for people to sell their stuff. You could buy a brand new Abaddon Black with that kind of dough. Yes, I could. I need to put it back in my nails. You know what I mean? I feel Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist can be hit or miss, and it's too full of scummy people and fake deals. Yeah, I mean, I actually recently tried to buy some stuff off Facebook Marketplace. I actually tried to buy some stuff on Facebook Marketplace recently, and it's like, yeah, it's weird because like some people will just like message you back and then like be some people just like message you back really quickly. Other people will like completely ghost you. It's really hard to organize on Facebook Marketplace, which is why I think eBay is a lot more like, yeah, I think eBay is a lot better for like selling miniatures and stuff like that. At least from my understanding. Hey, Jake Lorette, thank you for the dollar super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's the money I have today. I will use that money and I will buy a single gumball in your honor. I think that's how much a gumball is these days. I don't know for sure. How much, what is the going rate for a gumball? I don't know. Gumtree in Oz is pretty good too. Hell yeah. I think I got a bunch of furniture on Gumtree before. Like I really should have used it a lot more, to be honest. Like, yeah, because like buying stuff from scratch is always like, if you can buy secondhand, you should buy secondhand. You know what I mean? Hello, Mushroom. I love your makeup. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you. I went with red today. I have like 3 colors that I normally go to when it comes to makeup. It's red, purple, and black. And that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. I tried blue that one time when in the Subnautica stream, but then everything that I was trying to do crashed. So, yeah, it would probably curse me. Probably curse me. I'm not that old, but I definitely remember 25-cent gumballs. Listen, if you ever bought one of those, like, gumballs from one of those gumball vending machines, you have some kind of disease now. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I'm fairly certain you have some kind of disease. Sadly, due to inflation, you can only provide half a gumball with that. Oh, God. Well, I'll just save it up and buy more Warhammer later. That's what I need to do. I got diabetes from those machines. I did like an art class once back in the day, which had one of those machines in the classroom, and I would just like save all of my like 50-cent coins, and I would just buy like a shit ton of gumballs. You know what I mean? It wasn't gumballs, sorry, because like yeah, if you're buying like bubble gum from one of those machines, you have some kind of disease now. Like that's just how it is. I'm sorry to tell you that, but like those gumballs haven't been changed since 1986. But my machine in the art class that I used to go to was just full of Skittles. So I would buy like I would buy a $2 packets worth of Skittles for $5 in coins. Looking back on it now, it simply was not a good deal, and I really regret that. I should have saved that money and invested it, and then by now I would have had $10 billion, because that's how investing works, I'm told. Why did you move to Canada? Well, Jake, I moved to Canada for a girl. She got a job, and I moved over here with her. Because I loved her very much, and don't want to say that in past tense, you'll hear me. I love her very much, and yeah, we started a beautiful little life together here in Canada. But yeah, I moved here for the same reason people have been doing insane things since the dawn of time, which is because I fell in love, and then we both came here together. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go, but I love watching your lives. Thank you, Mushroom. I'm glad that you're here. You know what I mean? I'm glad that you could. See, this is what I like about my lives, because it's like vertical. It's on the shorts feed, everything like that. You can come in, you can watch a little bit, you can go. Like it's a very like ad hoc kind of thing. Like I'm a very chill space. You know what I mean? How was the process of moving up there? How was the process, if I may, to move up there? Well, Ling, it was pretty arduous, and it cost a lot of money. Did you know that a flight from Australia to Canada is one of the longest international flights you can do? I didn't, until I did it. It was a lot. But yeah, it was a big, long process. I had to get like visa shit in order. I had to give the nation of Canada my fingerprints. I had to give them like, I had to do a bunch of tests. I had to get a police report to say that I had to get a police report. I had to get a driving report. Basically any government document you could possibly think of, I had to give them. And it was a lot. You know what I mean? It was a lot. And so, yeah, it was a lot of time. It was a lot of money. But it was also, I also feel like at the same time, it was a straightforward process. You just had to, like, go down the list, and the list was pretty long. Okay, it was a straightforward process where you just had to tick all the boxes, but if you didn't tick all of the boxes, you would be sent home immediately and not allowed to return. So it was a simple process, incredibly high pressure. So I'm sure you'll do great. Please tell us what the music in the background is. Well, it is the soundtrack to A Short Hike, which I knew, but I still brought up Spotify as though I was showing it to you physically. But you can't see that, so that's kind of a weird thing that I did. You know what I mean? Just popping in for a second. Hey, you're allowed to stay as long as you want, Norgard. This is a chill space. I'm painting. I think some other people are painting too. We're all having a fun time. Selling it to us for sure. I mean, look. If you want to if you want to go to a new place and experience a whole bunch of new if you want to experience a whole new culture, it's yeah, it's a great place to do it. You know what I mean? It's not as much of a culture shock between like Australia and the US, because I've been to the US before too. I mean, I've been to California. I don't know if that's really indicative of the whole United States. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been to like California, which is also in North America, and I feel like Canada. The way I've heard it described is like the most Australia you can get outside of Australia, and I see that. In the context of North America, I think the most Australia you can get outside of Australia is like, I don't know, New Zealand or Tasmania, one of the two. It feels insane to walk to an international airport having left your apartment in your home country hoping they'll approve your work permit. Yeah, that's the other insane thing. Like the permit that you get is like approved when you get there. Like that was wild to me. Like it's like, oh, I have this I've applied for this document that should let me live here. I don't know whether I'm going to get it or not until I land. And have already spent thousands and thousands of dollars. Like if for any reason they don't give me this work permit, then like there's nothing you can do. It sounds amazing, but stressful. Oh yeah, that's exactly the way that I would describe it. Like it was a great thing to do. It's given me like a whole new set of opportunities and like a whole new life and a whole new social circle out here. It's all one big great adventure. Life is all one big great adventure. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's an experience that I'm really like happy that I'm able to do. I'm really happy that I'm able to do it with my partner because, you know, we both like love and care for each other and, you know, have been supporting each other throughout the whole process. And yeah, it's great, honestly. Have a nice evening, everyone. Well, I hope you have a nice evening too, Liz. Have a good night. Sleep well. Sleep tight. Do not let the bed bugs bite. Guess who's finally drinking water for the first time in 6 hours? You need to drink water. You have to hydrate. You simply have to. What if I move to Australia, start a small Warhammer channel where I only do lore paintings and I'll be evil you? Like that? God. Listen, I feel like I feel like at some point, you know, I'm definitely not there yet, you know, but like I feel like at some point every, you know, internet online personality needs to have like they need to have a rival of some kind, you know? Like Critical has Sneeko, I literally can't think of a second example, but you know, like every creator needs to have like their evil variant who they just continuously have beef with, you know? Hydrate or dihydrate. That's good. I gotta remember that one. Evil Ethan. What's crazy to me is foreign military bases and embassies in specific countries is seen as the soil of the country. Yeah, that's the wildest part. That's also wild to me. Like I went to I had to go to the Australian consulate to vote in the first like couple of months that I was here because we had the general election that I needed. No, it wasn't an election, it was a referendum that I needed to vote in. And so I had to go down to the Australian consulate and it was literally just like a room in a fucking like, you know those like corporate buildings you see in the city where you think to yourself like, oh, I cannot possibly think about like, I cannot possibly imagine like how many businesses are in here because this just looks like a big general building. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it was just a room in there. And it's like, oh, this is technically Australia. What? What? Oh, God. I'm in an art mood, so you know that means 5 unfinished sketches that will live permanently in the whip folder? Hell yes, derps. That's exactly right. God, you're valid. Just reading everyone in here for filth. Okay, what do I need to paint still? Yeah, I'm just doing a bunch of thin layers right now. Like, I feel like I need something more substantial. I'm gonna paint some metallics. Where's my lead belcher? The way it should be. Hello again, Dylan. Welcome back. It's good to have you here. Alright. Let's see. Okay, what do I... Okay, I sort of need to think. I sort of need to think about this for a second. So this guy right here, he's got his big, like, stabber, or his big, like, sword. And again, the video quality there is terrible, but we're just going to look past that. What color should I do that? I subscribe, well thank you, Top Money. It's good to have you here. Hey, see you, Jake. Have a wonderful evening. I hope you have a wonderful night. Sleep well. Or don't, quite frankly. Let's see. What color should I... So, like, I'm thinking... I think for some of my other Orc minis that I've done, I've, like, painted... I'm just trying to see if I have an example on my desk. I have a couple, like, scattered minis around that I simply need to... Oh, God, you're covered in dust. So for this guy here, For this guy here, like, I painted a lot of their minis with, like, metallic paints. And, like, I've always been in two minds as to how that looks. Because, like... So I got there, like, the Balthazar gold on that. But you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, once the Balthazar gold is down, once it's got a bit of, like, edge highlighting on it, it's actually not too bad. So maybe I'm overthinking this. And I've got a couple of, like, paints that I can edge highlight with, like, a silver or a lead belcher. But you know what? No, I think I want to keep it consistent. I think I want to keep their melee weapons mostly... Oh, that's not it. I want to keep most of their melee weapons that sort of, like, coppery gold color that I've done on the other miniatures. You know what I mean? Like, I think I just want to keep it consistent. Or do I, though? Do I want to be consistent? Do I want to be unique? What do I want to do? I also just subscribed. Thank you, Caleb Miller. It's good to have you here. I'm glad you're hanging out. Totally haven't been trying to draw this makeup for the last 45 minutes. Listen, I'm a hard man to draw. I got a weird looking face. I would do it all the same. See, Danielle, I feel like I'm in the same mind too, but I feel like I have a couple of models, and I can't confirm or deny that here now because I don't have any of them around me at the moment, but I feel like I have a couple of models already for my orcs that do have silver weapons, and I can't remember. Like, the only other model that I have is literally like this guy here who's got like a Ripper chainsword. Ooh, whoa. Yeah, which again is sort of like the coppery gold, so I think I might just try and like keep it consistent. You know what I mean? If you question me, you could try a different color. You know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I will. That looks amazing. Thank you, Danielle. I try my hardest, and I try so hard. You have no idea how hard I try. Out of all of your green skin... Bye, derps. Get out of here. Have a wonderful evening. Out of all of your green-skinned children, which one is your favorite? Listen, I can't choose favorites. You know me. You know me. I can't choose favorites. I simply cannot choose a favorite model. It's Todd. It's him. It's the grot on top of the war boss in Mega Armor. Like, it's Todd, hands down. No question. Like, look at this little freak. Look at this little freak. I love him. Whee! Good times. I also hope you show us your drawings at some point soon. I always enjoy hearing about them. I always enjoy hearing about them. They're mysterious. Where are you from? Your accent is very unique. Well, Carly Curtis, I am from Australia, mate. But I was also born and raised on a diet of The Simpsons, so I have a lot of Americanisms. You know what I mean? This association is hitting very hard right now. Ethan, quick, do something engaging. Did that do it? Think you just got into Warhammer solely by showing me that? Hell yes! Everyone loves a weird little freak. Everyone loves a weird little freak standing on top of another orc. Consider me engaged. Color me intrigued. Absolutely love the red look, especially your shirt. Thank you, Lost Boy. I appreciate it. I like this shirt. It's very comfortable. Sup, nerds? Hello! YouTube user North Star. What's poppin'? What's the haps? How's the evening going? I'm just painting. That scared me so bad. Well, I'm sorry, YouTube user C. But that's just how I am. Sometimes you have to expect the unexpected from me. Did I get you? I had to readjust. I'm sorry. Also, did my Twitter DM from a month ago just go under? It maybe, I do not check my Twitter direct messages that much, if at all. Like, literally the only thing that I get from Twitter direct message, like I don't, like, the only people I message on Twitter are people who I know, and literally I think anything in my like message requests is like fucking like, hello dear, how are you? What do you do for fun around here? Incredibly long string of Korean characters, which I can only assume is some kind of spam copy pasta. I just don't think any of my like DM request, like direct messages online actually work anymore. Like I think my like DM requests on Instagram are just broken. Either that or nobody's like caring enough to send me direct messages on Instagram, which I can imagine. Like, you know, that's also where the story replies go. Like, I recently had to, like, delete all of my, Instagram direct messages because, like, they were just bugging out. You make one viral video and, like, 70 different, like, online content farms try to reach out to you to license your content, and then it just breaks your inbox forever. Like, I had to purge it, and it just hasn't been the same since. But yeah, I don't, like, yeah, like, I have my DMs open on social media for, like, you know, like, I have my DMs open on social media. I do not check them that often, and I also don't, like, respond to them a lot either. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not somebody who, like, engages in DMs online all that much. Like, I've answered some DM requests before, like, you know, if someone's, like, asking permission if they can, you know, like, draw me, sure. Or, like, if someone's asking, you know, if someone's asking, like, a more personal question that they wouldn't want to, like, answer on a public comment section, sure. If someone wants to ask me permission to use pictures of my boobs as, you know, top surgery reference that they can show their doctor, absolutely. By which I mean they can use any of the documented material that's already available online. You know what I mean? But it's yeah, I don't use DMs that much on social media. That's just my thing. Hey, Nathan Peterson, thank you for the super chat. $4.99 US dollars. That's like $70 for me, so I really appreciate that. What do you love about the hobby and its people, and hate about the hobby and its people? Wow, I mean, I love that the hobby really, like, I love that Warhammer has so much, like, you know, lore and creativity, like, baked into it. Like, I think one of my favorite things about Warhammer is that, like, the stories that people can tell, or the content that they can create, is, like, so intrinsically part of the franchise. Like, you know, there's so much lore for Space Marines, there's so much lore for, like, you know, different orc war bands, there's so much, like, lore for, you know, all the different sort of factions, but at the end of the day, the only thing that differentiates these factions is that, like, this Space Marine is red, or this Space Marine is blue. And, like, sure, you can have, like, upgrade kits for various, like, factions if you want to get, like, really technical, but in order to paint a Blood Angel, you just have to paint a red Space Marine. If you want to paint a Dark Angel, you just have to paint a green Space Marine. But this also means that you can create your own color scheme, and it's exactly the same as any of the other factions. Like, if you want to create, like, a purple Space Marine, then you can do that, and it will be no different to painting them as an Ultramarine, or a Blood Angel, or a Dark Angel, or anything else. In terms of what I hate about the hobby and its people, like, I mean, every hobby has its, you know, fair share of bad eggs, and I think that Warhammer has, it's got the interesting problem that I think a lot of franchises that have been around for years and years and years and years and years and years and years have, which is that so much of its, like, history is rooted in, you know, the 80s, the 90s, like, different parts of history that, you know, perhaps don't hold up anymore. Like, there are parts of Warhammer lore that are, you know, just old and just edgy for the sake of being edgy. Like, everybody, you know, brings up, like, the the demon bacula, or like the whatever, like fucking demon realm that's just, you know, edge incarnate, you know. And the people who go that like, yeah, this is what Warhammer is. Like, this is like Warhammer is like the infinite edge, like torture dimension of like blood and guts and evil. Like, come on, like you're only saying that to be contrarian. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, and because it's been around for so long and it has gone through so many changes, there are a lot of people who cling to the old ways when, you know, that's no longer relevant. And I think that's just a byproduct of, yeah, I think that's just a byproduct of being an older franchise. Like, you know, D&D has it, you know, Pathfinder has it, like, any franchise that's been around since, like, the 80s or 90s, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, some people need to get with the times. That's all I'm saying. Ethan completely missed my horrific experience. Yeah, spiders crawling on you isn't that bad of it's like, listen, it's just a spider. You know what I mean? Like, could be worse. Could have been a snake. That'd be worse. Maybe I'm just like desensitized to spiders. I've seen so much of them in my life that I'm just sort of like, they're like there. They're fine. They're fine. Which Muppet would be which loyalist Primarch? That is the most important question anybody has sent me a dim channel. I cannot tell you the name of a single Muppet or a single Primarch in this moment. Kermit the Frog would be Reboot Gilliman for obvious reasons, and Fozzie Bear would be the lion, ironically, because he's a bear. You know what I mean? I live in Oklahoma and we get so many spiders, we call our house the Webwood Manor. That's goth as fuck, and I love that. But also it's very sad for you to be covered in spiders at all times. Because I know that's frustrating, you know what I mean? I have distinct memories of being a child, being in the back seat of my family's, like, family car, and then on the window, like, inside the car, there being, like, a spider that's, like, this big, like, almost as big as my face, and, like, I was a young kid at the time, so I just started screaming, and because I was screaming, the spider started moving, and because I started screaming, my father almost drove into a ravine, because out of nowhere, I just screamed, unbuckled my seatbelt, and flung myself onto the other side of the car. We pulled over and got rid of the spider, but it was a sense memory that simply has not left me to this moment. You know what I mean? Miss Piggy is sanguineous or fulgrim. That's so true, Stygian. That's so fucking true. Actually, no, I feel like Miss Piggy would be Horus. I feel like that checks out. Okay, Kermit the Frog is Ferrus Manus. I don't know why, but I always imagined Fulgrim and Ferrus Manus as Wario and Waluigi, and I cannot. I've been told that this is, like, not accurate to their physical descriptions or their personalities in any way, but that's simply how I perceive them. Ferrus Manus is Wario and Fulgrim is Waluigi. You look like a Muppet? Well, I mean, I can't fault you for that one, honestly. I found you from your Warhammer because you got because you got other content? Hell yeah. And now half my recommended content is just VTubers and comic dubs. Well, I mean, I think that has more to do with with your browsing history than just me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't do all that much in general. I think that's more in you. Hey Nathan, thanks for the US. Thanks for the super chat. Wow, third super chat in a live stream. Thank you so much. Jesus. Feel free to ignore. I won't. Your take of the female custodians debacle. My headcanon is. I mean, see, that's what the whole female custodians thing is like. that's one of the things to me that, like, I don't know, like, it's, again, as a, oh, what's happening there? Again, I think that's kind of like, it's kind of like one of those things that's so rooted in the franchise's history that I think it's a little bit out of date. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know, like, people getting upset about there being, like, women custodians is strange, because, like, I don't think there was anything that said that there weren't female custodians, but also, like, the game's been around since the 80s, so they probably didn't showcase many female custodians back then, because you know how things be, you know what I mean? And, like, it wasn't like the Space Marines, which actually, you know, sort of played with the consequences or the idea of having, you know, an entire faction of people being, like, a male-only super soldier subgenus sort of thing. Like, I don't know, there's female custodians, like, that's fine. Like, it's, you know, they probably didn't have any until now because they just didn't think to make them. It's been around since the 80s. You know what I mean? They made female Space Marines at one point, but then they retconned it because they didn't sell well. Like, yeah, like, I think that people who get caught up in the whole female custodians, like, debacle, or whatever we call it, like, come on. There's other things we could talk about. You know what I mean? An all-male super soldier force is very 80s. And at the very least, like, with the Space Marines, like, I think the idea that, like, there's no women in the Space Marines, I think it's a dumb idea, but I do appreciate how over the last, like, 10 to 15 years worth of content, they've sort of doubled down on the fact that, like, yeah, it is a dumb idea. It is a stupid idea, and that's also, like, a core tenement of the Space Marines. Like, the fact that, you know, like, the fact that they are all a, like, homogenized group that is so distanced from the rest of humanity is, like, toxic, is like a metaphor for toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? Anyway. We appreciate diversity and inclusion in this house. 100%. I would love for them to make female Space Marines just to see how mad people get. Honestly, I would be in the same boat. Like, it's yeah. As somebody who does read the books and, like, you know, is slowly but surely getting through the Horus Heresy novels, like, yeah, there's and like in a lot of the other books too, there's, like, a lot of evidence where people have basically, like, looked at the camera and said, like, hey, the fact that there are no women here, this is a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't like how they changed the Custodes law. It's literally just a few words in one story in a tweet. See, like, they've... Like, people who say that... Like, I understand the sentiment of why people say that, but, like, riddle me this. Did the Custodians really have that much lore to begin with? And, like, I could be wrong there. Again, I'm still very new to the franchise and the hobby and everything, but, like, it seems to me like the Custodians don't really have a lot of content going for them. So when they had just, like, you know, a sort of small update in their codex or whatever, like, I saw that and I was like, yeah, that feels like it makes sense. Like, have there been many Custodian novels? You know what? I slowly but surely realize that I am, like, starting to talk about a concept that I know absolutely nothing about. So maybe I need to read more books. It adds to the campy comedy, the hypermasculinity. Oh yeah, 100%. And, like, literally the entire basis of the Horus Heresy, like, a key factor in the entire, like, collapse of the Imperium and, like, the fucking rebellion that sent people into 10,000 years of war was the fact that these male friend groups lost their secret clubhouses where they could talk about their feelings. Like, the warrior lodges were a big part of the Horus Heresy, and the fact that they were, like, you know, shunned and, like, disbanded and not a thing anymore, and these men didn't have a safe place, quite literally, to talk about things outside of the guise of rank and the military hierarchy was one of the things that led Horus to do a heresy. Like, you took away the men's social groups. Of course they're gonna kill each other. When the Custodies first came out, they were just Golden Space Marines. Ah, good. Is the stream ending soon? Yes, it is. It is 7 p.m. and I am now realizing that I have barely touched these miniatures today. But you know what? I've just been having fun hanging out and chatting about dumb, goofy Warhammer stuff, because that's what I like to do. I like to hang out. I like to chat. And you know, I did get a couple of layers on these bad boys done, but it's all like really dark Rhinox hide browns that, like, look, that's not going to come up on camera at all. Like, that just looks all vaguely like the same sort of dark shape. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to call it quits there for now. Thank you once again for coming out and hanging out as I yap and stream and everything like that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I am so sweaty right now, and I cannot wait to clean off the night. So you know what? Thank you everyone. I'm probably going to be online again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Is that the horribly outdated reference that I can make? But yeah, I'll talk to many of you then, I hope. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless you. That's not the tagline that I want to leave on. I have no idea how I end these. You know what? I'm just gonna press the button that ends this. I'm just gonna press this button and